Before I begin, this story is completely true. I am not concerned about people recognizing themselves here, and hence all the names, incidents, and places are true. I wish they read this so they know how much they hurt me. This incident is from India, so if you're confused about some of the academic terms used here, I suggest you look up the internet for a basic idea of our education system and levels. I was bullied so badly in college by the very same people whom I called my friends, and this is my story. I was 16 when I passed out of high school. I got into the college of my dreams because I had fared well in the 10th grade. It was an all-new world. There were waves all around, wearing funky clothes and smoking and dating random people for fun. The kind of scenario which was thrusted on our minds through shitty movies. Almost all the students had tattoos, hair dyes, and flashy phones. This would be pretty normal in the country you live in, but from where I come from, we had to beg and plead our parents for things like pocket money, dating, extended curfew time, and dyeing our hair or getting tattoos done. I think the rebellious ones did it without permission and felt really cool about themselves. I was a star back in school, and everyone knew me and wanted to be my friend. I enjoyed the attention, and I was everyone's friend. I talked to almost everyone, and I never felt a tinge of nervousness. But here, I felt lost. There were so many people, so many branches, and a huge compound which made me anxious every morning when I entered the gate. I feared people would judge me for the way I dressed or the way my hair looked and how awkward I generally was. We had uniforms in school. Soon, I lost all confidence, whatever little I had. School had felt safe. College felt like a task. I tried to cover up these insecurities and fears by attending all the classes on time and staying back in college till the last lecture was finished. People mocked me for this, but the same people were struggling to get my number before the exams so they could get enough information from me to pass. I made 3 female friends on the first day of college and stuck with them till the end. I was too shy to interact with the boys because I came from an all-girls school. These 3 females merged into several other groups later on, but I stuck to them because I felt that was comfortable, and the other groups had boys in it too, and I did step out of my comfort zone a year later and started talking to boys as well. But we were kept at a distance from boys throughout school, and even at home, the environment was quite strict for so long that it felt like talking to a boy would naturally lead to something romantic. There couldn't be platonic friendships or anything like that. So these 4 females, Gabrielle, Rhea, Esther, and me, were the only group I had for the longest time in college. We were around the same age. I think they picked up on my low self-confidence and timidness and tried to bully me and made fun of me for their own entertainment. I think you're gonna cry when you listen to what all they did to me as people whom I called my own friends. I will write a few incidents that happen to give you an idea as to what all they did with me. We once went for a movie where all of them huddled close together and sat while I was left out on the outermost seat. They wouldn't even pass me the popcorn unless I asked for it. They kept giggling like it was some childish win. I didn't show them I felt bad, but I felt very sad inside. While leaving from the movie, they all were walking behind me and laughing at how curly and damaged my hair was. I turned around and asked them what it was, and they nudged me ahead and said, "Nothing, just look in front and walk," and giggled some more. During exams, all other classmates would call me for important questions and chapters, and so would these 3. They would tell the others too that I attended all the lectures and had all the complete notes. I would sit and help out all these people the night before the exam when I could very well put my phone on silent and focus on my own preparations, but I tried to please people a lot. These same people wouldn't even talk to me after the exams. Once a kid in the class threw a house party but didn't invite me. My 3 friends were invited because they interacted with a lot of new people and were trying to get into the hot groups at that point to be famous. I felt bad. Later, the host, who always exchanged pleasantries with me, sent me a private message asking me to join as well, but I declined politely. I lied that I had an eye infection due to my contact lenses and couldn't come. When I wore the burqa at the college a couple of times, they made fun of me on my face and asked me questions like, "Are you able to see properly sideways? because your burqa is covering your side view too. Everyone complimented me on how pretty it made me look, but my so-called friends chose to mock me and make me feel bad about myself yet again. In our second year of college, I met a guy and we dated for almost 2 years. He was someone I had a crush on since school days, but he found out only later when I told him. Our schools were right next to each other, but his was all boys and mine all girls school. Weird but true. After I broke up with that guy because we weren't following the same religion and our families wouldn't agree to us being together, I met my future husband. To this, Esther remarked in front of everyone that I was a total slut and I was very male-oriented. I agree I moved on pretty quickly from my ex-boyfriend, but does that make me a... Esther was a fatso who thought too highly of herself, and she was a very mean and bitchy person in general. They would make me wait hours in the morning before turning up so we could attend classes together. I would miss a couple of lectures initially, but then I stopped waiting because I felt dumb and taken advantage of. They fought with me even about this, saying I was being secretly competitive and should eat my books because they felt I studied a lot. Gabrielle was pretty competitive and smart as a student, and she didn't study well for the exam once. When the results came back, I had scored a few % more than her. She didn't let me tell her mom about it, who tried to congratulate me because how could she score less than me? She had probably painted this picture of me as a dumb girl for her family. In the next exam, she scored 1% more and told me in my face, "See, now you know who's smarter." A few years later, Ria and I gave an entrance exam for getting into an MBA college. We went to the same training institution to prep for the upcoming entrance actually. I secured almost 92 percentile, while she was somewhere near 40 or 50 and got a very lower grade college than me. She complained that I had lied to her and studied extra so I got top it. So basically, they were never happy for me even after we got out of college. All three of them would regularly mock me for things I did, comment on my clothes and hair, leave me out of important conversations, meet frequently without me outside college, and even tried to scold me for things that were none of their business. They would randomly try to straighten me up so I was more socially acceptable, but they did it so rudely that I preferred being myself and went even deeper inside my shell. This is unbelievable, guys. When Ria got married last week, she didn't invite me. I found out from Instagram. Can you imagine the level of jealousy towards me? Like, she didn't invite me, not even over text for formality. For my wedding, I had gone to her house to invite her and her family Bettina. Ria was someone who was secretly very jealous of me. She tries to be like me even today by copying things that I do from my social media. Yet I considered her my close friend out of all the bullies. Let me tell you guys, I wasn't ugly or dumb. I was just someone who didn't know how to carry myself well yet, and I played coy because I didn't like the limelight. When I met my future husband on Facebook, she was so jealous about it and asked me to be aware of him and even asked me how I could move on so quickly from my ex-boyfriend. Well, the ex was pretty abusive emotionally and even forced me to sleep with him if I wanted to be his girlfriend. I gave in to him. It's not like I didn't want it, but the first time was forced. I wanted to wait till we got married to give away my virginity, but he had other plans. This shitty relationship made it easier to move on, or maybe that was my coping mechanism because I was super involved with him and had hopes of marrying him until we broke up. These seem like very small and stupid things, I know, but when they happen with you at a young age, it kind of sticks with you forever. For those people who bullied, abused, and mocked me, maybe they have changed their ways now and are happy and thriving in life. But my flashbacks keep me trapped in their abuse, and it hurts so badly. These so-called friends got together to gaslight me, isolated me from the rest of the people around us, constantly put me down, constantly guilt-tripped me, and tried to one-up me. It was emotional abuse at its best. They would accuse me of cheating on my ex-boyfriend when I never did that. I don't even know if whatever I am writing will be coherent. I drank excessively last night and tried to drown out this shit. It's been a decade since all this happened, and I am not in touch with them anymore, but the jealous schmucks have crawled their way into my social media after repeated friend requests. Apart from that, we are not connected anywhere. So the problem is, I keep getting flashbacks or intrusive thoughts about these bullies, and the pain is unbearable. They may have all matured and grown since college. Maybe even though it didn't appear as though they were capable of effective empathy and feeling remorse back then, they are capable of feeling those things now. Maybe they occasionally feel guilty over bullying me, and since they were such horrible friends to me, maybe they bullied others too and occasionally get pangs of guilt over this. But maybe they are surrounded by people who give them unconditional love and safety. Maybe they have friends who they aren't bullying even though they bullied me. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Please don't ask me to forgive them so that I can heal and move on. The thing is, I can't. They never apologized to me. I don't know how they justified their actions to themselves and slept peacefully every night knowing they made someone's college life horrible and made them go to bed crying every night, feeling pathetic about themselves. I detested going to college each morning. The idea that they might have changed now, I can't seem to take comfort from that. I wish I could, but I can't. I'm in an amazing place today. I'm married to the love of my life. I have a toddler son, and I'm building my writing career from scratch, but I still can't let go of what they did. It frustrates me that I let them be bad with me, that I didn't stand up for myself and call out bullshit when it happened. I played dumb so that they wouldn't stop being friends with me. I was worried about the acceptance of those people who never let me in their group in the true sense. I didn't have many people who were interested in my life story in my previous post, but I gave the complete truth. No throwaway account, no name changes, and nothing concealed to protect any hidden identities. I had to write this update because guess what? My college is celebrating its 25th anniversary this weekend, and they decided to host a reunion for all the pass-outs. I didn't want to go as I hated college because of those nasty people. I didn't even have many friends there. My husband insisted that we go. The party was at a grand restaurant, and we didn't have any concrete plans for that particular weekend anyway. So I begrudgingly went, expecting not many people would go, but to my surprise about a third of our class was there, including two of my bullies, Ria and Gabrielle. Esther left for the States when she completed graduation because her maternal aunt lived there and would help her in setting up her career after she completed some certification courses from there. I went around talking to people and surprise, no one knew who I was. Well, except two people, Ria and Gabrielle. They recognized me instantly because they hopped over my social media for fun updates on my life. I saw the likes pretty often, and sometimes they would even leave a comment like, "Oh, you're so beautiful now," or "What a gorgeous couple, lucky you," etc. I tried to avoid them before crossing paths and had to make small talk. Yuck, they came to me and hugged me and said they remembered everything. They even said it was wrong of them to treat me how they did back then, but we were just kids and they hoped there were no hard feelings anymore. I think they read my blog too because I have written a lot against them there. I shrugged it off and acted as if I didn't even understand what they were talking about. I didn't really accept their apology, but I continued talking to them to ward off the awkwardness that was me going around and meeting people who I had classes with for 4 years. But they couldn't even recognize me today. I know I've transformed and look nothing like I did back in college, but it was all still very awkward and brought back a lot of uncomfortable feelings for me, so I preferred hanging out with the bullies. Life works in funny ways. It had brought me right in front of the people who had damaged my already low confidence and self-esteem and had made for very bad friends. Now I had a chance to ruin their image in front of guess who? Their spouses. About a few minutes into our conversation, two men I did recognize but had never met before from Ria and Gabrielle's social media as their respective husbands came up to us. They told me these were their spouses and even introduced me to them. The men asked me if we were close before as they had never seen or heard about me from their wives. I think they were floored because I looked gorgeous while their wives looked like the typical vamps from soap operas, and I guess they were just like that from the inside, even today. I grabbed this opportunity to feel better about myself and told their husbands honestly about our friendship. I said they had bullied me almost every day for the 4 years we were together in college and had made me want to drop out at one point. An awkward silence fell over as the husbands tried to wrap their head around what I was saying. They quickly shoved them away and ignored me for the rest of the evening. My husband and I met and greeted my professors and a few genuinely good people I came across in that institution. We then ate some delicious food from the buffet and clicked photos. I could see them sneering at me and getting jealous of me all over again. We left once the party started getting a bit boring and a lot of people had started to leave by then. My husband told me what I did was a huge bitchy move and totally unnecessary. He said I didn't have to do it and only did it as some sort of vengeance. I said I was just being honest. I felt amazing after that night and still do. I don't think what I did was necessary, but it was something I would never get a chance to ruin again, and I took the opportunity willingly when it came. So tell me guys, am I